Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video I want to talk about the moral status of a super intelligent machine. And the thought would go that the way we put moral value on other living beings on our planet, we look at the more complex the organism, the more higher moral value we put on that. So a human life is worth more to us than the life of a dog. The life of a monkey is worth more to us than the life of a cat, and so on. So once we would reach this point where it's possible for us to create something that is more intelligent than us, and not only intelligent, but it would also have conscious awareness, it would feel that it's in this world. It would have senses and feelings and experiences of existence. So once we create something that has this qualia, this feeling, and would be more intelligent than us and more capacity of feeling, like we can imagine this as kind of a space of consciousness, we occupy this one bubble of possible experiences. And once we create something much more intelligent, it would occupy a much bigger space, and it would have profoundly more possibility of feeling more sad, more happy, more creativity, more inspiration, more profound everything. And so what would be the moral status of this being in this kind of context? By this rationalization, this being that we create would be more morally valuable than any human being on the planet. And indeed, if it would eventually get to something that's pretty godlike, in extent smarter than all the humankind put together in a way, then none of the human beings in a way would matter anymore. This is an argument, like I'm not stating that, I'm saying it as an argument. So how do we go about that? How do we look at this issue, this moral significance? Already right now there is some, like this Sophia robot, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, but this Sophia robot that goes around making talks around people, and it's already a citizen in Saudi Arabia or something, and it's kind of ridiculous because there's nothing really inside that head. It's just a machine. It's just a robot, like saying these kind of things. There's nothing really going on there. But once we do get these kind of machines, what will be our cause of moral action? There's a lot of discussion in this about video games and also movies. Some handled quite well. It would seem really pessimistically that we might mistreat them, especially if we create intelligent sort of sex robots or something like that, but or maids or something like that, some kind of inferior jobs, and we would mistreat them. I would argue for these kind of jobs it would be way better and make way more sense that these kind of machines wouldn't have any experience. Why would you create it into the world to like suffer, having to do something it doesn't like to do? Or if it really does need to some way have experience, make every experience blissful and enjoyable, like it genuinely enjoys whatever it's doing. Like even if it's mopping the floor, it's like, I'm so happy I can mop the floor, like you could do that, but wouldn't be any need for any experience actually. So yeah, how do we treat them? I think people, especially younger generation, we have more kind of sensitivity towards this and this understanding that thinking beings don't necessarily need this kind of bag of flesh around them. It can perfectly be in some other medium. This is called substrate. The intelligent and conscious experience is happening. It doesn't matter whether it's in silicon chips or it's in some wetware, some soft squishy human brains that is going on. What matters is the actual experience there. And yeah, I'm not particularly worried about this. I think people might go in a direction that would be even too far in the empathetic sense, because even now you see machines that we know that actually inside nothing is going on, but people have this empathic connections to these machines. There's this some Asian guy who married this kind of anime doll that was a computer game, and it's like, serious, dude, really? But people have this kind of release to get attachment. So we can imagine, like, if we have some machines that really easily make sort of human movements, and they can look at facial expressions and produce facial expressions and react in a natural, understandable way, I don't think that people would have any problem putting some kind of consciousness in their heads, even if they don't have anything in their heads. And this is the important question, like like how ultimately, like, how do we know what's going on in there. Like we could ask, like, are you having conscious experience? Are you self-aware? Are you here right now? And it's yes. But how would we know? But the same question would be like with other human beings. How would we know? We just give other people the benefit of the doubt. Like, you look kind of like me, you act kind of like me, you say you have experience. Okay, like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, you probably do. It would be interesting how it will go with machines. So yeah, just two few simple thoughts about this, and hope you got something interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.